Okay, we're live with another Cartridge Club Hangout. Little bit of a quiet night, but it's just me and Cody here so far. How's it going, Cody?
Hey, what's up?
Not much. Just been sitting here waiting.
Yeah.
Started reading a Superman comic, but that's about all that's been going on my end.
Yeah, not a whole lot here, just chilling. Got my
Yeah,
got my EMT completed on Friday.
nice.
So that's all done. At least that step. Now I just got to put in for a license and find a position somewhere. And other than that, I spent the weekend doing a lot of stuff in my game room actually, since I'm not having to study all the time, which is kind of weird. Like I've been glued into my game room here for a couple days, like just finishing up some stuff I wanted to do. I wanted to make some backups of some Sega CD stuff. So I made a nice little stack of them right here. Got my Sega CD hooked up. Got my Saturn hooked up. Was messing around on my PS2 today and gonna I'm gonna install that hard drive on it and then do the just mess around with that free McBoot. I haven't messed with it yet, so buddy of mine gave me that like a year ago and just mess around with it. So yeah, that's about it. And then hopefully, I mean, I don't know, depending on how things are, I go back to doing forestry work here in about 2 weeks. So, but I don't know, it's pretty dang wet over here, dude. Freaking in the Midwest, and that's where I'm gonna start, is working in the Midwest for about 6 weeks.
Yeah, it was raining here a little bit today and maybe a bit yesterday. Wasn't paying much attention, but I did notice it was raining at some point in the last 24 hours.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't care. I mean, I'll get paid if I'm fighting a fire or not. I guess it doesn't matter to me. I mean, I still get paid to do something. It's just
Yeah.
boring.
Yeah. A lack of fire is a good thing, but it's not that interesting.
Well,
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, I got to do a bunch of prep work and stuff, a lot of
Yeah.
chainsaw work and
Yeah, I just mean
like
like
that.
things not being on fire is a positive. It's just
Oh
not.
yeah,
It's just
definitely.
like you're sitting around a lot.
Yeah, and the thing is I've done this long, you know. Uh, I started in 2000. I took like maybe 3 summers off, so I have 16 16 seasons I've been out doing this kind of work.
Hmm.
So it's I don't know. I'm used to it being I guess I don't feel like I have to be on the go, you know.
Yeah,
Trying to find our stream here on the live.
I'll just
Sorry.
I'll do a little streamception and post a link in our own chat,
Okay. Yeah, I was going to open it up in the
just in
YouTube.
the group chat, not the YouTube chat. Posting the YouTube link to the video that people are already on, if anyone's actually
Yeah.
on, wouldn't be all that useful.
Yeah. I got it. So,
Hmm.
let me see here.
I watched Into the Spider-Verse last week, finally. Have you seen that?
You know, I've seen some stuff on it. I haven't watched it yet. Um, I mean, I'm not in a hurry to watch it. I'm not, you know, big into that kind of stuff. But I mean, I might,
Yeah.
just watch it eventually. It just depends, you know.
Oh
I've heard
yeah,
it's
yeah.
good.
Yeah,
I
it's
heard it
actually
was up for
very
some
good.
awards.
The overall plot of it, like the just A to B narrative, is kind of typical of a origin superhero movie, with some multiverse hijinks thrown in. But how it's executed and the animation and all the characters and performances, that's what's really kind of revolutionary about it.
Yeah.
That sounds like an exaggeration, but then you actually see the thing. This thing is, there are a lot of superhero movies, but
Mm-hmm.
like people go back and forth between calling stuff like superhero movie or comic book movie. In terms of that distinction, I would say this is the only one I've seen ever that is a comic book movie. And I don't mean in the same way as the 2003 Hulk movie where they just had panels all over the screen but made no sense. I just mean like it understands the source material in all its different forms as an adaptation. It takes advantage of the entire history and the different mediums. Like, there's a gag in the first few minutes, which is why I don't feel like it's a big deal to spoil it. Plus, they've released the clip on YouTube. Is they show a Spider-Man popsicle that was actually around in the 90s that I remember getting, like, from an ice cream truck.
Oh, yeah. You know what? Yeah, I think I remember an ice cream truck Spider-Man popsicle, too.
Yeah, it was like one of those completely lopsided face popsicles. It's like, I've been a cereal, something or other, and it's like, and a so-so popsicle. I mean, it looked worse. But I liked that. And the cereal, too, they didn't show the actual original cereal, but there was one.
And
And
yeah, I think I remember Spider-Man cereal, too, actually.
Yeah.
I remember a lot of those short-run cereals. Like, I can just, as soon as I see it, I remember it. Like, I seen one the other day. I was actually watching YouTube, and I was watching some it had retro commercials. It was nothing but retro commercials, and they were talking, like stuff from the 80s, I think, and it had like Star Wars commercials in it, and anything you could think of. And I seen a cereal commercial for C3PO Star Wars.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, I think I remember seeing that. I remember that. I mean, our parents never really, they didn't buy us that kind of stuff, just because they're old fashioned thinking, and they're like, that's
basically just different versions of Lucky Charms anyway, for the most part.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's all it is. And like, we'd get Lucky Charms sometimes, but they wouldn't go and buy that. I mean, because to pay for that label, I think, you figure nowadays it's at least $1 more just because it has that on it,
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm pretty sure that's, what they were. What the heck is this? Oh, you can see the reflection. Oh, on my.
Yeah.
I was like, what is that?
I just paused for a second. Hey, Discart in the chat. He also enjoyed Spider-Verse. But I think the one other thing I can add to that without like having a back and forth because you haven't seen it or spoiling anything is there's like you can tell it's made by the same people that made the Lego movie. Not in the sense that it's like the exact same kind of thing, but just a understanding and a reverence for the source and like acknowledging the marketing without being cynical about it. Like, we know this is a commercial product, let's just have fun with it anyway. Yeah. And just like a good passion for it. And there's fourth wall breaks, like with the popsicle and everything like that. But it's not like Deadpool cynical kind of wall breaks. It's like, to make an odd metaphor of it, I guess, it's less of like breaking the fourth wall rather than opening it up and inviting everyone in to kind of just enjoy it together. It's a very inclusive movie, and I don't mean that in the like diversity kind of sense, although that too. But like everyone can be Spider-Man is definitely one of the messages of this movie. Like, not necessarily like everyone has to be Spider-Man, like that kind of thing, but yeah, I'm rambling. It's a very good movie.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, I do like Spider-Man when it comes to the superheroes, Spider-Man and Batman. Other than that, I'm not really into the new movies too much. I mean, I liked it when they were single standalones, but now with all this crossover stuff, I'm just not a fan of it. And it's just too much going on that
you feel like you have to keep track of.
Yeah, and I don't want to,
Yeah,
and
that's fair.
It's just they're coming out too fast too. I mean, I used to like when like the original 3 Spider-Man movies were done with is it Maguire?
Yeah, Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, when he did those, you know, I thought that was great with the amount of time in between them. I enjoyed
Yeah,
every one of them, and I enjoyed all the Batman movies. All the way through what Legendary started, and uh, I don't think I've seen the most recent one where Ben Affleck took over,
you
or
don't
Ben
have to see
Affleck
those.
or whatever. Not Affleck, but Affleck, and
Yeah,
it's just I don't know. I feel like they're just trying to get too much of a dollar out on those kind of films, and instead of like letting some time go by, let people feel a want to see it instead of feeling like you know
like
as
there's one every 5 minutes.
yeah, like you're oversaturating the market. Like I'm the consumer, it feels like, okay, like I see right through it all the time now, and it's just like, when you start seeing that, it's just like the quality goes down every one when they start doing that, and it's just
Not really.
they cut corners. Well, I'm not saying movies in general, I'm just saying
No, no, no. Like, I know what you
look,
mean. I don't agree necessarily, but I definitely get where you're coming from with it.
I'm just
But
saying, like, I mean, look at Activision and EA, they do shovelware. So I
a little
mean,
bit.
you always find a corner cut, and it's coming with programming. I'm
Yeah,
not
but it's like,
necessarily saying the movies, but then again, it's too much. It's too
yeah, but
much
it's
too
like,
fast.
yeah, I get where you're coming from, but that's also kind of like a thing with video games. Like, like talking about like, oh, EA puts out a lot of stuff, so like the quality is going to go down if they put out a bunch at once. Like they've got a whole bunch of different teams, and that's probably like the same thing that's going on at Marvel and all these other comic book companies. They have different people making different movies at the same time, so it's not like everyone like going from one set to the other constantly. It's different teams. But I think it's more like I definitely get what you mean about like a little oversaturation. It can get a bit much, but it's more like comic books actually are, where there's like it's a slower version of what comics actually are, where there's like 100 different issues of things every week, new issues of stuff. Like every character has one or two ongoing series coming out in every other week, and it's hard to keep up with that. But that's just kind of how comics are. So I do agree with like they've been doing a little too heavy on the interconnectivity with the last few, but I feel like most of them are still enjoyable on their own. I think the only one that like crossed the line a little bit into this is a little too reliant on the other ones to be enjoyed on its own, other than the Avengers films, which that makes sense, it's a team up, is as much as I enjoyed it, Captain America Civil War, because they made the third movie in the Captain America trilogy a tie-in to all these different movies, whereas the other ones like had responses to what happened in the other films, but they stood on their own. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like if you watch like Black Panther or Thor Ragnarok or Captain Marvel, like those are definitely enjoyable on their own. And I just watched. I also watched. Bleh, I watched Ant Man and the Wasp a couple days ago as well. I hadn't gotten around to that, and that's enjoyable on its own. It's probably one of the lesser ones. It's still fun, but it's not like on the level of a lot of the other ones. You'll get a miss every now and again with that many movies coming out, but they're usually fairly enjoyable even then.
Yeah.
But since there's not
Rocket
much,
Sauce. You can get in here? Rocket Sauce or Deej or Pixel. Dude,
welcome for anyone to join in
do you
if
know
anyone's
who
interested.
Tesseract is?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tesseract
I
or
was actually checking him out last night. He was streaming
mm,
on Twitch. So I was in there chatting with him for a little bit, and he's kind of on we're both kind of following and commenting on the Polymega and stuff too. And so I've been chatting or kind of talking with, messaging him, and he seems pretty cool, I guess. What does he come and hang out in these chats ever? Or?
I think he's been on once or twice, but it's been a bit. I don't really watch his streams just because there's only so much time like watching streams. I don't watch that many. ironically enough, as I host one. But it's yeah, I like talking to him when I get to talk to him.
Old Tesseract.
He's one of the few people I could actually play Warframe with. I just haven't gotten on with him much.
Yeah, I want to play Path of the Exiled or something.
Path of Exile?
Yeah,
Yeah, that just came out on PlayStation.
Is it out?
Yeah.
I thought it was just out in Europe.
I thought I saw a message that it was out on PlayStation. I could be wrong. That could have just been a European thing.
It just said European launch trailer.
Okay.
I didn't look, though. I'll look later. But yeah, I want to play that.
It
looks
right now.
Cool.
Let's go to the PlayStation Store, see if it's on there. It's been on Xbox for a while, obviously, but it's cool to see it on PlayStation as well. I tried to get into that, but I think it's not like the most exhilarating thing solo. I think it'll be a lot more fun with people.
It looks like a Diablo-like game, so...
Oh, yeah. But, like, that kind of thing, like, I definitely need people to play with, because I can't really play Diablo on its own for very long. They're fun, but they're monotonous. And yes, like, it is on PlayStation.
I got a couple buddies that are really big into Diablo, and back on Diablo 2, I remember playing it on an old IBM laptop, dude, and like I mean, those guys, they get that game and they just run through it like so fast and like get so far ahead, and so I jump in with them, and I feel like, you know, I like to take stuff slow. Well, I like to take stuff slow and like kind of look at the lore and stuff while I play. And like these guys just rush through for the loot, and like I'll do runs with them and stuff, but I don't feel like I absorb any of the story doing that. You know, it's like you pick up all those parchments, all those different pieces to put a story together, you know, in the dungeons, and it's like I feel like that just goes in one ear out the other as fast as, you know, they run it. You know, because I don't ever get a chance to get a break and look up on the story, you know.
Yeah. Hey, Eric.
Cute dog. He's got the new computer running full blast right now.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, my...
Jeez.
Silent again.
All right.
There you go.
My kids were
I miss Q Dog.
They said hi.
Oh.
Very enthused. Discart mentions Streets of Rage 4. I kind of forgot about that. But I did see the trailer or something went up the other day. It's cool that they're doing another one of those. I don't remember in what capacity that's happening.
Yeah, I watched the trailer that they released today. It looks better. It plays better than I imagined, but to me it still looks visually it looks off, you know. But I mean, if it plays good, I'll accept it, you know. I mean, and it looks like it does do good at that. That juggling aspect was really focused on that little 45-second clip that they put out, and it looks pretty good, that juggling aspect.
Yeah, I'll have to look that up later.
I guess they're gonna have a live demo at PAX East. They're gonna have a demo to play, so I just, man, I really hope it isn't that far along though that they're looking at release. I'm hoping that's just an early build demo, because it's like, you know, I want them to, I want to feel like they are gonna put a lot of time into it and not just rush it, you know. But then again, I mean, if the game's done, it's done.
Yeah, we'll see. Hope it goes well. Reminds me, I picked up that little collection of Dungeons and Dragons beat 'em ups on Xbox a couple weeks ago. I still need to play that.
Oh, the Chronicles of
Mystara or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I keep wanting to say Treasures of Tarman, but that's a frickin' television game, so that's way the hell off.
Yeah, Mystara, the Chronicles of Mystara. is what I think it's called, is a bundle.
Yeah,
I got it on
two
PS3.
on there.
Yeah, I'd bought it back on the PS3 years ago. I've seen the price of that for like the Saturn. That's like an expensive bundle to get there, and it's not even in English.
Oof.
But it looks, that's one I need to go back and play. I'm actually thinking about moving my PS3 into my game room, and I got it in a storage out in the living room area, and I'm thinking about taking it out of that and putting it in here, hooking it up, and then getting ready. I got to download all my stuff off the store before it. What happened?
Oh, nothing. Oaz and Musty joined.
Oh, it went black. I was like, what's going on?
Yeah, Oaz doesn't have any picture or audio. There you go.
There we go.
There he is.
How's it going?
I'm here. It's going. How are y'all doing?
Hello.
Pretty good.
Hello.
A little quiet, Musty.
Am I quiet?
Yeah, a little bit.
Hold on, it's probably set to the wrong mic.
Musty's looking extra slick tonight. Just kidding.
No,
What's
Musty,
that,
you're
Oaz?
muted now. You're completely
I'm
silent. There you are.
No, I'm not muted.
No, there you are.
Yeah.
Better.
How's it going?
Oh, James is saying a DM and
Do we trust James in here?
I don't know.
I think we can
How far
trust
can
him.
you throw him?
I can't throw anybody.
Of all the club members, I could probably throw James the furthest. Not me, as in I could. I'm just saying that.
Yeah.
Never mind.
That comment holds true, but I'm going to remove your message, Musty, just so it's not public on the chat.
Yeah. Should have used your first name instead.
Sure, that would work. I can still just send him a link if he needs it.
Yeah, let me remove. There we go. I retracted my statement.
Okay. Are you on it or am I messaging him?
My hands are right here. So no, I'm not.
Okay.
I went and retracted the statement on in the chat for you.
Okay.
When's Edith Finch coming out?
When does the podcast come out?
Yeah.
Don't look at me,
Who should I look at?
Ryan.
Ryan, okay.
The recording went well. I'm pleased with what we put down.
Good.
Having
There you
it's
go,
no,
James.
it's no surprise that Caleb is a mega fan. Having mega fans on the show for the game that you're playing is a smart move in general. Oh, Ryan's asking what he did.
James, it's impossible to see you
Yeah.
because the backlight, you look like just a black
You're
shadow.
also muted.
You are
Yeah.
shrouded in
You need
darkness and muted. So you need to unmute yourself
All right.
and
Can you guys hear me at least?
yeah.
Yes.
Okay, give me 2 seconds. I'm not in my room because Amanda's sleeping upstairs, so I'm gonna have to get creative with the lights for a minute.
If you just turn yourself around, that's what it's all about.
I was waiting. I was going to make a hokey pokey joke.
No, I don't have a damn table though. Hey, give me a second. I'll just grab a little folder table, and yeah, that'll have to do for today.
I mean, that's what I'm using to do the whole thing. So
Unless you want me to just lurking in the shadows.
must remain shrouded in darkness.
Swear to me.
Come over to the dark side. Do it.
Do it. Oh, man. That's awesome.
So I saw you were playing some Anthem before coming on, Musty.
Yeah,
How's the new update?
Jake and I were in. I opened my first Elysian artifact chest.
Nice.
Yes. So they're encouraging you to do daily challenges to get a key that you can then use in the stronghold to unlock the chests. So
Yeah, there's a similar thing in Destiny. I'm not like giving them shit for just taking something from Destiny. That if it works, it works.
Yeah, I mean these games are all trying to feel like different evolutions of the same thing. So
yeah, not necessarily a bad thing. Games learn from each other.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, the little stuff, little tweaks, quality of life stuff has been very pleasant.
Nice.
Notably, the forge in the start menu is a game changer. So,
oh yes,
so Eric, having waited, you will only ever know this. Really, like you haven't established a lot of habits of the old way.
Yeah, now with at least 25 to 30% less loading screens.
Yeah, it was. Well, I mean, I did notice that going back and forth from the forge was kind of a pain, but
Yeah.
That's incredible they were able to fix that.
Yeah, I didn't think they were going to be able to, because like you'd think loading in between areas, like that's kind of a hard baked mechanic.
Yeah, I would have thought.
Yeah, I mean the loading. So like if you end a mission and then go straight into the forge, that happens right away. Going back into Tarsus then loads.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like you can just hit start and you're in the forge immediately.
Awesome.
Just wonderful. But yeah, I've been trying out some of the other colossi. Give myself a little more well-rounded approach here.
Yeah, there were some quality of life upgrades in Warframe recently as well. Of course, I had to go into that. I've been playing a bunch, so I can't really help it. But they updated the melee system so that like one of the things that was a minor pain in the ass, but only if you notice it in that game, was there's a holstering animation. Like you have a melee weapon and your primary and secondaries, but like there was a holstering animation between shooting and taking out your melee weapon and putting that away and then going back to shooting. It was only like a second, but it just kind of breaks up the combos. They took that away. So now you're always like able to go straight from shooting to melee and back. And there's no swapping to melee. So if you hold down the left trigger, it's always going to be aimed down sight, even if you were slashing before that. So very good update there. They're doing a 6th anniversary giveaway tomorrow in the game with some free loot.
That game's been out for 6 years.
Yeah.
Isn't it still in beta?
Everything's still in beta. Nothing is final.
True, not since the internet.
Yep.
So,
yeah.
What does everyone think about? Did you guys talk about the state of play?
No, not yet.
Or the ID at Xbox?
I just watched that before I started
Game Pass deal.
Mm-hmm. That was pretty okay.
I'm on board with the bite-sized info dump approach from everyone. More of that, please.
Yeah, just like constant updates in short little bursts rather than like one major thing like once or twice a year. Some decent indie games coming to Xbox, but
that last one, that Contra looking one, that looks like a thing. It looks like it's going to be worth playing. I can't remember what the name of it was. Why am I blanking on that?
Either. and I just watched the thing an hour ago. That's not good. Anyway, not good on my part. Not
I'm
not
finding
good on
it.
the game's part.
I'll find it.
But
I'll find it.
who else watched the state of play while Musty's doing that?
Nope.
I didn't. That's that
Nobody.
PS4, right? The PS4 thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Iron Man
Blazing
VR
Chrome.
is
Blazing Chrome is the game that I was thinking of.
yeah, Blazing Chrome.
Blazing Chrome, which looks like an homage to both like Metal Slug and Contra.
Yeah.
Like, the art style on it's incredible looking.
Yeah. A lot of VR stuff in the state of play. Cool to see.
Yeah, we
Iron
should probably
Man
stick to talking about one at a time, because
yeah,
otherwise
rather
we're
than
gonna
swapping back and forth.
keep
Sorry.
bouncing back and forth.
Yep.
No, let's state of play was yesterday. We can talk about yesterday's. That Iron Man thing. The Spider-Man Homecoming thing was the thing that sold me on VR being a tangible thing. So this is exciting to me. Like,
I still haven't tried that Homecoming thing. That's just
it's short.
It's
It's a 7-minute gallery shooter.
Ah.
I mean, it's fun. You put on the mask, and at one point you're looking in a mirror, and you can like wave at yourself, and you can go like, it's fun. But
like less complicated Arkham VR, which I also still haven't played.
Yeah, I got to see Jake play some of that on Polykill's patron-only stream on Friday night, which was cool.
Nice.
So you should go check out their Patreon if you want to be part of the stream.
Yeah. How's your Patreon game going?
just heads up.
I should check that out if they're going to be doing more stuff like that.
See, and here's the funny thing. Derek says the Homecoming thing wasn't even a good VR experience, and it wasn't executed very well. But for some reason, just being able to, like, the tangibility of feeling like I was in the suit was enough to, like, trick me. There was, and there's a moment in that where you can, like, lean back over the edge of the building, and, like, my body freaked out, and, like, I was like it was that first, like, panic moment that was like, okay, this is it. This is a thing.
Yeah. The only time I've had that kind of like that like the motion kind of disconnect thing is with what little I played a Sprint Vector.
I can see that.
Yeah, because it's like you're just constantly like going way up in the air and looking down and falling back down, and it's just like, yee. I didn't get sick at all. I've been lucky with that, but it's first time I've had that kind of motion disconnect feeling.
Yeah.
What else is worth talking about from the state of play?
Has anyone's opinion of Days Gone changed as a result of what was seen? I realize we're asking this, and it's like you and me are the only two who watched it. So
yeah.
Hello, panel. Let's talk about a thing you haven't seen.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm all kinds of...
Gather around to be bored senseless.
There's people in the chat who are playing it. But
yeah.
No, there was a lot for VR. If you're a VR person, PlayStation VR person, there was a fair amount to talk about. If you love your Five Nights at Freddy's, you're getting a Five Nights at Freddy's VR.
Yeah, jump scares VR. Woo.
No, thank you.
Snore.
Oh, not even a snore. I do not want.
Yeah, it's good for the people that care. I just do not. That Mortal Kombat trailer was good.
See, that was toward the end, and I kind of zoned out at that point.
I'd go back and watch it. It was just a fun little trailer.
I think the No Man's Sky, I think I watched that a little bit on that, and that was in there, right?
Yeah, that being getting a VR update, I'm finally a little interested in playing it.
Well, and there's this this Beyond update that's coming, like their third major revision to the game, Which Eric, you made a very you had a very insightful tweet about this.
I did. That doesn't sound like me.
I liked how you turned that on its head, though.
The Shigeru Miyamoto thing.
Yeah, because everyone cites that, right? Like,
Yeah.
It's one of those things that like.
I missed this. What was the tweet?
Do I have to say it?
It's your tweet. I don't want to steal your thunder.
People often quote Shigeru Miyamoto, and he once said, a bad game is a rushed game is forever bad, but a delayed game can eventually be good, or something like that. And I hear that quote a lot lately, and with downloadable patching and all that stuff, that statement is less true. And then when they announced No Man's Sky VR and how that game has been improving ever since it was launched, I merely commented that that's a nice quote and it was very important at its time, but it's no longer true. It is no longer true that a rushed game is forever bad, because they can fix it.
At least not for live service type games.
But No Man's Sky really isn't that. It's just a multiplayer game.
Yeah, a little bit. Like multiplayer stuff.
It's pretty bland though, man.
Which is why the only interest I have in it is in the VR.
I was right on the launch of that game, and I was really hyped for it, and just I could only play it a couple days, and I was like, this is garbage. I'm done. And I had really was pretty hyped about that. I went to the first PlayStation experience. That was one of their showcase games, and they had the band that made the music for the game there, promoting the soundtrack to it and all that. And I was like, dude, this is awesome, and freaking just to have it fall on its face like that after the amount of hype they put onto it, it was just like, damn, dude, that's not good, because Sony obviously got pretty quiet about it, and it seems like they've been dealing with it on their own now. They've been dealing with it on their own now, and I just feel like he's too far invested into that game to just not try to make something of it. It may never meet the sales that they're going to need to break even, but just to save face, I think they're really working hard to build, on that. And the thing is, if it was a prototype to begin with, and this was the plan all along, I could totally see that being part of the game around that, as well. And then what do you got at the end of it? A nice engine to use on something else. So Hello Games kind of this seems like a pretty big prospect for what Hello Games was releasing prior. So it's interesting. It'll be an interesting story to see what happens with that game in the future. But
I think a lot of the initial problem was
what's that?
I think a lot of the initial problem was how hard Sony was selling it, and how much just that was not what the game was.
It was their exclusive, right? They were like, here's an indie game that'll to end all indie games.
Sony
this game will blow your mind. And it was like, no, it will not.
Well, Sony gave him a lot of.
It was the Peter Molyneux box, right? Or the Cube game that he was pitching.
Yeah, it's a lot of hype, and it's like, oh, this is fine. They pitched it wrong in the state it was originally in, and they, of course, kind of see it, Derek. But they kind of there was stuff missing that was shown in the trailers that just was not in the final game. So it was a weird kind of.
Yeah,
it was a weird thing in general.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to say that there weren't mistakes made, but the fact that they persevered through it, even through. What was it? Within the last 2 months of their development, they had a flood in the office.
Oof, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah.
They could have folded at that point. Of course, Sony probably wouldn't have let that happen, but I also feel like Sony was probably the one pushing the get this done.
Yeah. It might have also been a little bit of a, just due to all the publicity around it and how much praise Sony was giving it, it might have been a little bit of an Emperor's New Clothes situation. They were all happy about it, and all the excitement around it was kind of blinding them to maybe some of the issues.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think that their idea when they went with that huge galactic scale is what, was interesting at first, because they talked about universe upon universe that you could get in, and like, it's like, okay, so this game's going to sell copies, how controlled is this universe algorithm? I mean, you couldn't even run into anybody. And then when I seen the article that somebody actually finally ran into somebody, they were invisible to the other guy, and it's like, what is this? If they would have made that a straight up MMO from the beginning, with being able to see the other person and all that, exploration world MMO, that's what it sold me as. So it was sold to me as a space exploration MMO, and the final product that I got was like, I haven't even touched it since, and I've heard it's improved, but
It's kind of soured you.
Yeah, and it's like, I'm not gonna get on board unless I got people lining up saying, "Dude, let's play this." Yeah,
I get it.
I lost my interest, and it's going to be hard for them to generate interest again. I wouldn't be surprised to see that become a PlayStation Plus game here, if they add all this stuff to it, have it be a PS Plus, because then Sony will get use out of it as a PS Plus title, and it'll push their VR. And Hello Games
put it on Game Pass,
fulfill their needs to Sony.
Yeah, it's on Xbox now as well, so they can put it on Game Pass, get some interest there. Yeah, I think a lot of the problem was like the initial marketing was way too much for what the game actually was, and like putting it in a box and slapping a sticker on it as done was a mistake. They should have released that digitally as an early access title. Would have received a lot better, I think.
Well, and that was before early access became a staple for
that was still a
games.
thing, but it wasn't like
it was still a thing, but
it wasn't omnipresent as it is now.
Right now, it's like things are like, it's okay. We'll fix it in post.
Yeah.
What's up, Waz? What are you doing, dude?
Just chilling.
You all pumped up for that Mega SG?
Once it has the adapters.
Yeah. That looks pretty cool from what I saw.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be good, but I want the adapters for the game, particularly for the Game Gear, because I can already play Mark III games and everything else.
Yeah. The thing is, the weird part about that is it's kind of has a similar issue to the barrier to entry as the Polymega does, but for different reasons. Because you're selling this thing as being able to play all these different systems, but you need adapters for it.
Yeah, and the only adapter they have now is the Master System.
Yeah,
and it's in the box. It's in the box, though. That's
cool.
It's included, so it's nice, but I want more than just that. I'm like, well, if it's like $20 to get shipped,
Sega
I'm
CD.
like,
I didn't know about the Sega CD functionality until today.
Neither did I until I watched a video on it.
I'm pretty darn excited about that.
Yeah, that is cool. And part of me is like, oh, that's a big price, but
it's great as the original hardware, but on your modern television system. There's a lot there if you've got a huge collection of stuff. If you've got the original Sega CD, and that's great for that. But Polymega is more of a convenience device, I think. Because
it is far more practical if you're gonna start spending that kind of money. Then you might as well go for the thing that does more than just Genesis games, right?
The thing is you're gonna
more than just Sega titles.
The base system's all CD though. You're gonna pay for the Genesis module, the NES module. I mean, you're basically buying the base system and the disc compatibility stuff.
Yeah,
which immediately right off the bat, when they were marketing it last fall, you could buy bundles, and they actually had a sale where you could buy the entire module set that they're going to have at launch for like $400 or $450 or something like that.
So it with just the base is probably between
like
150 and
$200, I
$200.
think.
Yeah. And
Each
so,
module is $60.
whew. So it's
Yeah.
definitely not cheaper, but it has more options.
It's just interesting. I did go back and research the Mega SG just to give them a good, a fair play on the decisions and thoughts on the little battle that's going on between them and Polymega on media. It does look really good in my opinion. And like, I don't know. I mean,
They both look
I've
good.
seen people bringing up the thing where they're already buying the OSSC. They're already buying the, Retro Tink. They're already buying the FrameMeister and the cables, and it'll pretty much do the same thing, but it's just easier to, you don't have to deal with all the tinkering, is what they were saying.
Yeah.
And
they're for different audiences, and they're both good in their own rights. It's just
the backup capabilities. And I mean, the Mega SG, it does really look good, dude. Like, I seen the quality of Sega CD on it. I was like, damn, that looks pretty good,
Yeah.
So I'm really interested to see more what Polymega is going to show. Of like, I don't know if they've shown Sega CD yet or not. I mean, Saturn looks good, but it should look fine. I mean, the thing is, it's just all going to boil down to
what the final product
Polymega going to deliver the way that they're saying it's going to work,
Yeah,
but the Mega SG has its shortfalls too. It's already got bugs in it. People are finding UI issues, things like that. So I mean, it's going to be down to price point and what it really delivers.
Yeah, I'm not trying to like play into like the war between the two things. It's just what they're selling to a slightly different audience, different niches within the retro gaming community. It is going to definitely come down to what Polymega actually delivers when it comes out, obviously. But Mega SG looks very good. It's just not something that is selling me necessarily right now. I'm waiting to see what the Polymega does.
I just see like even tonight, like the DB Electronics guys like busting on their balls, and so is Volter, and I think Retro Cables. Those guys are like just kind of going after them, like making comments at it, and it's like, geez,
what kind? I've never known those guys to say anything positive. What's their problem?
Well, they're going at it, just saying, why is they're showing like Polymega showed a thing about the filter being able to go to a composite signal or a component signal on their system, and they showed a video of them switching it, and it changed the way the pixels looked, like the actual pixel aspects.
Yeah.
And DB Electronics and Volter immediately went after him, saying, this looks fake to me. I don't know if Volter was attacking him or attacking DB Electronics, but DB Electronics is just all over him about it, saying what they're putting up is fake, a hoax, not true. And they're posting like Polymega's playing right into their game, posting pictures, rebuttal videos, all that, just to show them, and it's not good enough. What they are posting,
never will be.
But nothing is going to be good enough.
Yeah,
like that's like I don't know.
I get the concerns, but yeah, like nothing is ever going to be good enough until we actually see the product in hand, and that even then it might not be good enough for whoever's complaining.
Yeah, it's just funny because it's just like, geez, why doesn't, instead of wasting their time and making them have to try to justify, in which they did stupid shit with the Saturn video, that was just plain stupid, and I even told them that in a DM. They've responded to me in DMs, and I've told them, I see this stuff going on between you and the other guys, but I mean, you can't really blame them after the whole Saturn debacle when you first started showing that stuff. I mean, you got to keep at it daily, to get people on board, and it's just, I'm sure that's what it's based around. And then it's just the disbelief from the engineer guys out there that do all these retro cables and, retro devices that is based around this whole, you know,
around
basically.
using the
But
original
are they
Yeah.
also trying to protect their
Yeah,
corner
that's
of the
what I mean.
market?
They're
Is
trying
that
to protect their
is that
piece
what
of
the issue
pie
is?
because
That's part of
these
it.
are going to change it. You know, these devices are going to change that niche, you know, pie, that niche piece of their
Well,
pie.
then there's somebody who's not buying their cables anymore because they're just going to go get this all in one thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
So of
And-
course they're going to be unhappy about it.
And you know, the
Yeah,
thing
and Ryan says,
Yes.
Ryan in the chat said, the biggest argument is that Polymega already lied about their hardware, and it's like, yeah, the Saturn thing, obviously, but and you said like they got to keep on it daily to kind of convince people otherwise, but I think that would be kind of a mistake, not just like daily, but like every other day posting something. It's like, because that'll come up like, it's good, guys, we swear, because like you gotta wait for when you have a major update to let someone know like what you actually have to deliver on. Otherwise, you're just going to be looking like you're pumping up false promises if you're like constantly on with not much to say. You know,
I'm just gonna make this one comment. I have no idea what you guys are talking about when you say the Saturn thing.
oh, like they were
And
showing,
95,
Yeah, I
if
don't
not
either.
more, 95% or greater of the people who will eventually buy this thing also have no idea what you guys mean by the Saturn thing.
well,
You know?
fair enough. It's like,
last fall, they posted up and they revealed that the Polymega was going to support Saturn because there was a lot of demand from the prototype talk of the system and going into, okay, we're going to possibly start production this fall. They unveiled that they were going to bypass a Kickstarter altogether. They were going to do an in-house website-based Kickstarter that they did, and if they meet their funding goals, they'll go into development. So they met their funding goals on their website, and then they revealed that it was going to support Sega Saturn, and everybody was like, it really like that's off the hook, you know, because nobody's done that yet. And other than like some computer emulation, but the computer emulation sounds like people even have trouble getting it set just right too on PCs. But anyways, they showed some footage of it, and they showed freaking pre-rendered video footage of some racing game. I can't remember if it was Daytona USA or the Sega Rally, but they showed an arcade version of it, not the actual Sega Saturn RIP.
yeah, it's
And
like
they
it could
showed
not
that
have
and
possibly
claimed that
been
was they
the
claimed
Saturn
that was their
version.
system. And
I
like,
think it was Sega Rally, but I could be wrong.
yeah, they claimed that was their system, and like immediately I was just kind of like, well, what the fuck, you know, why would you do that? And then
Yeah,
everybody just immediately went on the attack. Polymega, you know, did a rebuttal through video a week later after all that, showing actual gameplay footage on the system, doing what they're doing now. So I think that part of this is fallout from them doing that last fall to now. Like, are you guys filling us with smoke and mirrors, or is this actually the truth, you know? And like, they're doing videos now and doing captures, you know, capturing with their phone, doing a game capture at the same time, like they just did for this guy on Twitter. But they did both processes at the same time, post them both up to verify. You got two verifications of what they just did, and freaking people still don't believe it, you know. And it's just like,
yeah,
that's what I mean. I think people are just in disbelief because they already effed up, you know.
Yeah, they started off on a rough note, and they haven't really recovered from it. But that's also why I say like being on constantly with messages with not like a huge substantial drop to say. It just comes off like it works, guys, we swear. It's like there's nothing really to back up much. They definitely did more so with showing clips of it working, but it's still like kind of handheld off-screen shots, not really anything professional looking or substantial feeling, you know? So it's like, I feel like it would be better if they waited and did a more substantial announcement of something.
Well, I think at E3, they're going to be at E3, and I think they're holding back something. I was talking with Tesseract in his stream last night, and he thinks they're holding back on something too, and he's on board with it too. You know, he Tesseract's on board with the system, and he's been commenting on the Twitter about, you know, with Polymega and all these naysayers like running it down every chance they get, and then they throw in the Mega SG into the mix, and it's like, You know, just let the consumer decide. It doesn't need to be up to popular opinion, and that's what I've been noticing. And I brought it up more than once. And I mean, it really bothers me. It really bothers me is this whole like, who's the cool guy group? Who's the good? You know, who's part of our buddy
console war?
You know, and it's like it's too much. You know, it's too much. And if you're on the other side, you know, it's just like politics. You know, you're on the other side. You're branded with them, and you know it doesn't matter. I just think it's ridiculous. You know,
it's like it's like another unnecessary console war. It's ridiculous, especially when one product's not even out and it can't really speak for itself yet.
I mean, it's supposed to be about fun, dude, not about who's cool and who's been making cables and boxes for years now. You know, somebody new in the ring. Sorry, man, somebody's new in the ring. That's how it is. You know.
Yeah, whether it's good or not will come down to what the hardware actually ends up being.
Yeah, I mean, accept it, you know?
Yeah, at least for now, give it the benefit of the doubt until they have something to show. But Ryan also commented that
I support all of them. Like, I mean, I bought these, like, right here. You know, I can't get the damn cable. They're always sold out when I go to buy one, but I just bought the adapters for the retro retro RGB cables. And that's the adapters for the Saturn and Model 1 Genesis, and it'll work on Master System. And then that Model 2 adapter piece is on the actual cable. And I need that cable. And it's pretty cool, too, because they actually have a PlayStation adapter, too. I guess it's really good. So then you can just run it into your capture card right there, RGB, set your resolution of your capture card, you know, through the component, and there you go. You know, I mean, I wouldn't even have to mess with buying a Polymega, but I'm gonna, you know. I might even get a Mega SG. I mean,
so as I said earlier, it's like they're for different people. All these different things are just different options,
cool, you know.
Yeah,
I'll have doubles and triples of crap, and then I look at it and I'm like, damn, man, what am I gonna do with that?
I was going to get into what Ryan said last in the chat, but I think we've talked about the Polymega enough for the night.
You should get like a bumper so we can like lead into our conversation on that, because it seems like it's every single week there's talk about these systems.
Dude, I know.
Yeah,
I know.
That's why I'm trying to like just kind of stop for now, because it's a little much.
It's pretty big though, dude. I mean,
I don't know that it is though. I really don't. I don't think it is. I don't think it's that big.
Dude, the Mega SG is big, you know.
In terms of retro clone consoles, it's big, but that's a pretty small subset.
I mean,
I think it's big news on the retro.
When you look at the world through through blinders like that, sure. But I mean, I don't know.
Within that market, yes. Everywhere else, no.
Polymega. I mean, I'm not talking about the Polymega anymore. You know, tonight I'm just saying that it sounds like they might have a retail deal set up.
Yeah,
like they're saying their product's going to be on shelves.
Most of these are.
The Mega SG in that? Where do you buy that at? Like GameStop or?
I don't know, but I assume those are
like Analog's products. Where do you buy that?
Other than their site.
Yeah. That's what I mean. It's gonna be on a shelf somewhere. It's all I'm.
Yeah, I was just thinking of like the other retro boxes, like the Retron and stuff like that. Those have retail presences.
Those are GameStop, my local shop. Yeah, those are.
Well, I mean, like the other YouTubers that have already followed up on it, you know, like a lot of major YouTubers have already been following up on it as well. So, or not the Poly, but the Mega SG.
So, well, yeah, because it's today and it's the embargo's up or whatever. The review copies are.
Mm-hmm. It's just, I'm just saying, it's just an interesting thing, you know. I guess I follow a lot of the retro. So that's me. I mean, yeah, I'm modern too, but I enjoy being offline and doing retro, you know, like I've been playing retro for the last few days since I'm not studying anymore.
Yeah. Anyone have any other topic to transition to. It's an interesting thing we've just been enjoying for a while, and it's
No,
just kind
dude,
of
it
like,
gets me. You know, there's a lot of story. It gets me fired up, dude.
yeah,
You know?
it's just like it's only like 2 or 3 of us talking about it, so for the most part.
It's all quiet now.
Yeah.
My Ranger's awesome. Just gonna tell you.
Do we want to go into pickups just for a change of pace?
Could do
Yeah.
that.
Who wants to go first? I've just got 2 things to show, but if someone wants to go first.
I've just got one thing.
I have
Okay.
one.
Okay. We'll go in order of items, I guess. So, Oz, you want to go first?
Sure. This is, if it'll focus,
Come on.
Fantasy Star for the Mark III.
Nice.
So it finally focused for a second. So I can just plug it into the Japanese Master System, and it plays, and it has FM sound. This is the only version of Fantasy Star that has FM sound on a card.
Yep.
Nice. So,
Very cool.
James, you said you had one thing?
Alrighty, my local EB was dumping these things for less than half price. HD 60 Pros.
Oh, yeah.
Damn, 29. Oh, 160.
129.
129.
129 Canadian, but these things are normally, I think, 250 plus tax here, which is that was a really hefty discount for sure.
That's cool.
So what does that thing do?
Very nice.
This is basically exactly the same as the HD60S, which I already own. The difference is this one is internal. So it actually has to go inside a tower instead of running through USB 3. Why did I get it? Because it was on a good price, and I really want to see if I can make it run in a Xeon system. That's going to be the real friggin' challenge.
Yeah,
I mean,
but what does
even
it
if you
do?
turned, it's a capture card.
What does it capture? Just what's on your PC screen?
No, it's
It captures
for
your heart.
for the live streaming.
Oh,
But
yeah,
it's,
yeah. Oh, I got it. Yeah, yeah.
It's the zero lag, so when I
Capture
mirror
your
it, I
PC.
get all the chat and everything all on the same screen that I'm playing off of, so I don't have to look at a second screen for chat and the updates and all that garbage.
I see. Very cool. What's the problem with working with a Xeon?
The specific system that I got for virtually nothing has issues just on its own. Like, it's a great system. It's got 128 gigs of RAM, so I definitely can't complain.
Jesus.
It's obscene the amount of RAM that this thing has. My buddy hooked me up with, but it has its own boot issues and quirks as it is. And I think the last time I put an actual PC card inside of it, it was a little bit temperamental. So I'm sure this one's going to be temperamental as well. But hopefully I can get it running, and then I can just have a Xeon tower. I'm probably going to actually move it downstairs here. And then I'll leave the HD60S upstairs just because it's a little more convenient to dump between consoles.
Nice. Sorry, Musty, I interrupted you.
No, you didn't.
Oh, I thought you were going to ask something. Okay, that's cool. Oh, are they doing that in the U.S.? Does anybody know?
I didn't look, but James, did you have other stuff to show?
That is literally it. I've
Okay.
BGE.
Well, then I will segue into me then.
Okay.
GameStop, out of curiosity, or funny enough, hold on, I'll just hover here for a second. The day that they listed all of that was happening, I saw something about GameStop maybe on the verge of filing for bankruptcy. And then immediately following that news, I saw a listing on Cheap Ass Gamer for this guy.
Oh, nice.
Dude, you won't regret it. That thing's great.
Yeah. I'm still in the process of setting this up. One of them controls my good old key light here, right? See? Oop, lights on. But like, yeah, so far I'm still very basic on this, but like I set up tweet hot links, but come on.
See the Cartridge Club logo.
There's the Cartridge Club logo. So if I'm streaming the game of the month, boom, Game of the month tweet goes out with the club GIF on it.
That thing is pretty fancy.
Yeah.
Is it just a USB device?
Yeah, it's a 15 key macro. Oh, I'm getting burned by something. Hold on.
Does it interface with OBS?
Yes. OBS, Streamlabs. I can interface it with Twitter. I can tell it to open up websites if I want. You can hack this thing. Well, you don't even have to hack it. You can get it to drive a whole bunch of stuff. Somebody was talking about. I was watching a video. There's some site called If This Then This. I think that's the name of the site. And
Sure.
you can.
Oh yeah, If This Then This. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
a macro for your phone, isn't it? A macro app.
Yeah, well, like the thing that he was talking about was like the hue bulbs, right? So you could make it so that when a certain output is put into, like, you go to this website, then these things, it triggers these things to happen. You can then use those, set those up, put those URLs into the Stream Deck, and so like if I wanted to get my lights to go crazy, I could hit the button, and it would trigger that whole thing to happen.
Wow.
Which is pretty wild. Like I said, I picked this up on. It's funny. I ordered it late Wednesday night, and it arrived on Friday. I was shocked by this.
You ordered it through GameStop?
I ordered it through GameStop. I first checked to make sure they didn't have it at my local shop, and they didn't. And then it ended up shipping from Des Moines, so it was like a 2-hour drive. Commute to get it.
Was it on sale?
Yes.
It was on sale.
Yes.
Okay.
It was $100. It's normally like $130 to $150.
Yeah, according to their site today, it says $150 normally, and it's on sale for $120.
20, yeah.
Okay.
And you got it for less than that?
I got it for $100. Yeah.
And was there shipping?
There was tax,
Okay.
so I ended up paying some in tax.
All right. That's
Shipping
all right.
shipping was free because it was over a certain, whatever their threshold is for free shipping.
Oh, they do have a free shipping thing? I almost never.
Yeah, I think it's like 35. It's either 35 or I don't know, actually. I don't want to quote.
Okay, that's
that.
fine.
But if they're going out of business, they're going bankrupt. Like, it won't matter soon, anyways.
There's always stories about that, but
Right.
Yeah.
see if it does or does not happen. But do you have anything else, Musty, or was that it?
Nope, that was it. I'm in full on MGC prep mode, so I'm kind of holding off on buying things out of hopes that I'll find it at a better price at the show.
When's MGC again?
2 weeks.
Oh, weekend. Okay, so like the middle of April.
Yep, 12th through 14th.
Yeah. Okay. Wow, it's coming up fast. So we got
Yeah.
Cowlitz. We have Cowlitz this Saturday, then Barry, and then MGC all in a row, huh?
Yeah.
It's gonna be a big 3 weeks for Cartridge Clubbers. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, and we're gonna get to see Hodge, and
Yeah, I know. I'm bummed about not being able to go.
it's gonna be a lot of. It's gonna be a. I'm not trying to make you feel bad. So, but,
Well, it's working anyway. I know. I'm kidding. Go ahead.
But yeah, like apparently this get together, we're going to back to 42 Ale House like we did, except it's going to be more than just club people.
Is that the place we went to last year?
Yes.
Okay.
The place that had like the board games on the walls and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So we're gonna go back to there on Saturday night, and like Captain Algebra and like that whole crew, and Chris was kind of coordinating it, and
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
but yeah, it sounds like we had to, because of the size of the group that we were gonna have, we needed to pick a place that had more space, which
Well,
is
have
crazy.
fun. Send those guys our best wishes.
I thought you were gonna say wish list.
No.
That too.
Best wishes.
Send those guys their wish list.
Give them my wish list.
Yeah, send them out on the floor and have them buy stuff for you.
Hey, Mighty Q Dog says hi. Can you look for these games?
If you see any Master System games, you let me know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can
Is
anyone
it
find me
blue?
a copy of
this one
Brigandine
blue?
on PS1?
If it's blue, you better let him know.
Check all the blue. That's right, Musty. You tell those guys to check every cartridge for a blue label.
I don't actually.
All right.
I don't actually want Brigandine. I just thought that was funny because I was asked to look for that before. So many confused looks from every vendor. Anyway, I'll get my two things out of the way in case anyone else has stuff to show. Because there's comic book shit, so I'll go past it quickly. But I got the Blu-ray for Aquaman.
Oh, okay.
So,
My
You're
man.
gonna use the digital
my
code.
man. What?
So you're gonna use the digital code?
Probably not. But it's a
I'll
Canadian copy, so I don't know if that would track.
Alright.
Didn't Eric have that kind of issue getting something from P1?
Oh yeah, but he couldn't get his to work either. So
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah, maybe the code was just bad. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
we'll see. But the only other thing is I've been reading some Superman comics, some of the older ones from the 80s after Crisis on Infinite Earths. But I'm coming up to the end of what I had, and this seemed like the, oddly enough, most prudent way to read the next bit. So I got the Superman, the Exile, and Other Stories omnibus, which is a beast. But it's, I looked at it, there's no other like cheaper collection for this, and I calculated what the digital single issues would be, and it's like this is like $20 difference. So it's like I might as well have a nice collector piece. But this thing is awesome. It's got like the matte cover but glossy for Superman, the logo and all that. It's I'll show
I thought
the
Superman could breathe in space.
Depends on who's writing him.
I guess it depends on which story you're reading.
Yeah,
They've
okay.
rebooted this shit so many times it doesn't even matter anymore. But this is the underside cover, which also looks awesome. Yeah.
Wow.
This is like over 900 pages, so that's gonna be a fun read. It probably is. I'm not like being facetious. But yeah, I will end there since nobody probably cares. So
That's cool stuff.
yeah. Eric or Cody, you guys have anything?
Yeah, I got a couple things.
Okie dokie.
So I got this. I've been seeing a lot of guys stream this lately, and I've always wanted to get it, just haven't came by it.
Martian Gothic, whatchamacallit?
Man, I've never even heard of that.
It's a Take-Two like survival horror, like Resident Evil.
What's the full title?
Martian Gothic Unification.
Ah, okay. Couldn't see the other one.
It was on PC too. It's like a Resident Evil game. This was a budget game back in the day. It was like $15 or $10. I've been seeing a lot of people streaming it on Twitch lately, and you know, when that happens, it correlates the price of eBay, and I noticed the price of it's been going up. So I was like, well, I'm gonna get a $10 bid in there and get it, you know, because I'd already missed 2 bid snipes. So next, I got a deal from Musty Hobbit.
No way.
Son of
Oh,
a-
you got those after all, huh? You were looking for those.
I didn't get the Final Fight CD. I missed out. I was too pokey on it, but that's cool though. And because Wonder Dog was one I'd been looking at to get, and
Yeah,
I've been seeing it go up to like $75. So I got a book, or I got the
You got
manual.
the box and manual? Nice.
Yeah, I got the box and manual on eBay for $25. So I got a good deal all around.
There you go.
Nice.
So full copy.
I'm glad I made it there intact because
Yeah, I mean, I am too,
stuff,
dude.
you know?
I've been wanting to get that one for a while, and I was just being pokey. Like, am I going to go for a full copy or try to piece one together? And I'm looking at a manual right now for Afterburner, but the guys, I don't know. I'm trying to haggle them. I'm cheap to a point. And then my big one, sealed copy USA version Dick Tracy.
That's fancy.
That's nice. It's a good game too. You should
Yeah,
crack
I mean,
it open.
I'm not going to open it. I'm probably going to get this one graded with my Golden Axe eventually and my Space Harrier 32X that are sealed. I'm going to get those graded, I think, just to do it, and then
How
just
much
get
does
a
it
second
cost to be
copy.
graded?
Dude, like I seen a sealed copy graded of Dick Tracy on eBay for, I can't remember if they were like $3,000 or something like that, and I haven't seen it. It must have sold or something because it's not there anymore.
No, but how much does it cost to send it off and get it graded?
Probably about 120 if you wanted to have all the little grading aspects and history text and all that they put on it that Wada does. If I do it, I'm gonna probably do it with Wada.
Cool.
Yeah.
I have no sealed Master System games.
Well, you have a new collection to go for.
Zaxxon 3D that are sealed.
I'm sorry, which ones I was?
Zaxxon 3D.
Oh, nice. Nice.
And they were just because it was in a lot, and it's like, okay. Because I've got like 3 other copies of it.
Somebody had said something else. That was
James. That was RetroPixel.
James.
I was saying he has a new collection to go for, all sealed.
All sealed. That's what you're gonna do, right, Cody?
I might. It would be interesting. At least try to get some of it, and then
sell the house for that one.
The thing is, if I got a good portion of sealed, I would probably offer that up for some type of price. You know, if somebody really wanted it to complete a set for like history or something, possibly. You know, I mean, if you go look, I mean, there's sealed games, Master System, you know, on eBay.
Mm-hmm.
That's the funny part, you know. And every now and then you'll see a good one come up, and like. There's a good one out there right now that I was looking at, but I don't know, man. I mean, I already got it, and if I do that, then I was telling Melinda about it, and she's like, "Oh, so now you got something else to look for," and it's like, that one could probably get me in trouble because those sealed copies are, you know, expensive.
Oh yeah.
For just a single purchase for what it is, you know. The cool thing is, though, I will say one more thing I did get, though, is I was watching, you guys know Pink Gorilla there in Seattle. He was doing a junk stream the other night, just a junk stream on Twitch. So you'd get in chat.
I was going to make a joke, but I'll refrain from the joke.
Yeah, you just get in the chat and say, "Hey, man, I want this, I want that," and whoever says it that catches his eye, you know, it's not always the first person either. And like, anyways, he'll respond, throw it in a bag for you, and then you sort it out with an email later. And I got a Saturn controller, Genesis controller. I got a Dreamcast Rumble pack. I got a real jacked up copy of Tetris, in which I don't even have Tetris for NES yet. So I got that, and then something else for like $9. All of it for $9.
Wow.
Plus like $10 shipping. So I mean, to me, I figure each one of those items would have been $10 on eBay minimum, you know.
Yeah.
So I think I made out all right with that, and plus it was just something fun to do. I like Pink Gorilla and this stuff he does. He does those little sales through Twitch.
Yeah, Musty got something for them.
Yeah, I bought some NES games from them, like just commons, but it was a decent enough deal, I think.
Yeah.
Musty, are you done?
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to ask if you were done with your Milton Bradley collection.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, Milton Bradley. So finished ones are Milton Bradley, Broderbund, Ultra. Those ones. Yeah.
Ultra, not Konami.
And
Ultra.
And Tengen.
Oh yeah, Tengen. Nice. Yeah.
But the ones that are remaining, or the ones that are outstanding right now, I am going to refrain from reciting them right now because they're going to be in a video for tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Once I edit this.
Cool.
Thing, yeah,
making a video, huh?
Guess who's back? Guess who's back? I got all kinds of stuff in the pipeline right now. There's a reason I picked up that Stream Deck. Like,
That's gonna be cool.
It's happening. It's happening.
Yeah, you're gonna be a big streamer, aren't you?
There's something about the difference between having to like spend the time planning this whole thing, filming this whole thing, and then editing this whole thing and hoping that your vision from start to finish is there versus just getting in there, doing what you want to do, having fun along the way. Like there's such a different tone to the content and the stress level that I see out of YouTubers, especially YouTubers that are in kind of our range. A stress level is just so much higher than it is for small Twitch people. I don't know. There's got to be something to that, and it seems, So I have a plan, and it's going to start pretty soon here. I think, unfortunately, I would have started this week with my whole plan if it wasn't for the stream on Friday into Saturday. So to those who aren't aware, I should reiterate, again, if anyone's in the chat and isn't aware, we're doing a 24-hour live stream to help generate awareness toward the GoFundMe that is going for Jason Heine, because he's dealing with a medical bill that would put a large chunk of people into a bad spot in this country. Anyways,
do you want to say the number? Because I think I recall
34 grand. 34.
Yeah, that's exactly what was on my mind. It's like, yikes.
Yeah. And I'm not sure where they're at right now, but I can check it. And so I will just stall for a second while I pull this up. But the decision was made, and so we'll be doing this on Sean's account. So go follow Cartridge Bros, set your notifications so that you know about it. They're at close to 2,200 at this point in the past 7 days. So I'm kind of chipping away. 2,200.
2,200. Okay, that's
of 34,000.
Yeah. It's nice. It's a dent, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's not
ways to go.
Yeah. Well, and at the same time, it's like he's been instructed. Like, I don't want to read through the whole story because I will read through the whole story because on Friday, because I lead off Friday night with this. But yeah, like he's been told not to work for 3 months, but it's like, how do you not? Like, he's not exactly in a spot where he can comfortably say, no worries, I'll skip it, thanks. He's a close friend to the club. He's been on some of our podcasts, and I know that he had a lot of insight and help for the bros early on. So I think we, while it's not a club sanctioned event and it won't be on the club Twitch, it is something that means a lot to, obviously to him. I think just the response out of him knowing that we're going to do this, and it just happens to be people from the club, is awesome. So
yeah, that's like a really good thing about these kinds of communities. We can just all come together to help someone out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I understand. This is, I know we do Extra Life every year, and I know that we do. Others have their own streams. James, you've done yours, and Troy has done his, and Josh has done his. So I mean, I get that there's sometimes charity fatigue, a
little, but it's like, as nice as those ones are, a lot of them are for like more organizations. It's a little nebulous what the help actually goes to.
Mm-hmm.
But this is like more on an individual level. It feels more personal.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's my spiel for right now. Awesome. But yeah, it should be a good time. I know that there's a bunch of people who jumped in and are going to be part of it. But yeah, I'll be kicking it off at what it would be 9 p.m. Eastern time on Friday night. I haven't decided what to play yet. Probably do. I'm leaning toward NES stuff, but I don't know. I have this beautiful machine now that can play 10 different systems. Wonderful.
I'm sorry, I missed something. What did you get? What can play 10 systems?
I got a Retron 5.
Oh, you did?
Yes,
Did I not? How did I not?
That
Did you announce that?
It was a couple weeks ago.
Oh.
It was a couple weeks ago.
You probably did it on your. You probably were using it on your streams.
The one that I had that one stream where I played Star Tropics.
Yeah. Okay.
That night I was using that.
Sorry, bud. I missed that announcement.
Huh?
That's exciting. Or maybe I didn't miss it and I forgot.
There really wasn't anything formal to it. In fact, I did kind of go under the radar on that. But under the
Which color did you get?
It's the white one with the purple. I did not.
Boys.
I didn't have the option.
I know. I'm just kidding. Sorry.
I didn't have the option.
I know. That's the most popular one.
I also got that on sale too. Walmart had it marked down, so I was like,
the Retron.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey, you gotta tell me about these things. I got a Walmart down the street.
Yeah. Didn't you mention picking up like a week or two ago?
I don't know. I missed it. I don't know if he mentioned it on Twitter or if it was in here or on his stream. I haven't been watching his streams.
It was on CAG.
Dude,
all right. That's all right.
Somebody got a Retron 5 from his junk stream on Twitch there. Pink Gorilla's junk stream for $5.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mike must feel great about his purchase.
No, man.
I'm totally happy with my purchase, and I don't know that I would want a secondhand one because at least I have some confidence that like
there's a warranty on that one.
There's I think a year on it, but like there's something I at least can trust that I'm not going to manhandle these pins. Ryan says, "What's Q-Dog going to use a Retron for?"
I never play games.
Dang, dude.
No, yeah.
I was going to go from the angle of you would use your FrameMeister.
Yeah, that's what I would use. That's what I've been using. I've gone back and forth. The one thing I like about the Retron, there's two things. One, you have to get the Game Gear converter, but you can play Game Gear on a TV, which I don't have any real way of doing outside of software emulation. And two, that you can apply patches to it.
That was the majority of the reason I picked that up.
Yeah, like Owaz was showing us he got Phantasy Star 3. Well, the Japanese version of Phantasy Star is the only one with FM sound, but it's in Japanese. But you can get a patch, so that would be a fun thing to do. Although I don't know if the Retron 5
a lot less interesting.
Huh?
So it's going to make playing through it a lot less interesting.
Yeah, yes, if you can understand what they're talking about. Well, I don't know you that well, but I know you well enough to probably say you can probably play through Phantasy Star without needing a translation.
Well, I mean, if he can be Yeez with a freaking trackball, dude.
Yeah, that was incredible.
He can do anything on the Master System.
So yeah. Anyway, the patching is.
Where we're going, we don't need words.
But we do need maps.
Yeah, and trackball.
Yeah. Well, I played Phantasy Star on the Switch, and that was fantastic with the auto mapping. I just loved that.
How would the sound be on that compared to that Japanese version? Is that better, or is it using the same as like the North American release?
Well, no, it does have the FM sound option.
FM sound.
Okay, I was curious about that.
So he said, when he was saying it's the only way to play it with a cartridge. Yeah, that's right. But, the Switch version has FM sound, so it's got a nice English translation. It's got FM sound. It's got auto mapping. It's not authentic, but it was a heck of a fun time.
I'm not poo-pooing the original cartridge. I'm just clarifying for the sake of availability.
Sure. Anyway, congrats on the Retron. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
As a forced transition, that may have been under the radar, but this is under the radar and on my radar. Sorry, I'm cutting you off, but the Apple Arcade thing, they announced that. It's not so much that actual service, because I know not a lot of people will probably have much to say about that, but it's only even more obtuse. One of the games they announced is Beyond the Steel Sky, which is a sequel to the 1994 point-and-click Beneath the Steel Sky, which is one of those games that you can get for free on GOG. And it's like, that came out of nowhere. They're making a new one of those.
Wow.
It's insane.
Oh, what about? Sorry, I don't want to detract from that. I didn't even know
Point of
what
reference.
that game is.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, I don't either.
But Shantae 5.
Oh yeah, that.
There's more
That
than
is-
one Shantae?
Seems to be exactly 5.
Apparently, there's 5.
Mhm.
Is there any good
There's-
way to play the original? I want them to re-release the original.
3DS?
3DS C Shop.
Good way. Good way.
We
I'm
actually
teasing, I'm
discussed
teasing.
this on the podcast. You can buy repro carts. I believe he had mentioned for like $20-ish. They're very cheap. Then you can play it on the original hardware, Game Boy Color or the SP.
A repro cart.
Totally recommend the SP because you get the extra character that you can unlock. Ability of the Tinkerbat. That's the
Okay.
way that I played it through. That's definitely go with the SP if you want to go with the original hardware. That was it for me.
Okay. Sorry, James. I haven't listened to the podcast because I want to play the game, and I have this little rule where I don't.
Oh no, fair
don't
enough.
listen-
No,
I don't
you
listen to
definitely
podcasts.
definitely had spoilers, so
Yeah,
I
yeah,
totally
so-
respect that. But no, if you're looking to do it, if you don't have the EverDrive, you can get repro carts. I had actually had that discussion with him, and I think he mentioned either $20 to $30. They're very reasonable.
Oh, maybe I should just get an EverDrive. Maybe that's what I'll get this
That's the
this
way
year
to.
at the Black
I
Friday.
actually played it off in EverDrive. You get the entire damn library of Game Boy and Game Boy Color for what, $100?
Yeah. I've been buying EverDrives once a year during their Black Friday sales, and I got some points.
Can't go wrong with the Game Boy version. I personally own it, and I haven't had an issue with it.
That's a good way to go, maybe. Okay. Thanks, James. I appreciate it. Where's Ryan? Is he in the chat? He's my EverDrive guy during Black Friday. Always hooking me up with the deals. All right.
I didn't have
Yeah,
much
Shantae
else to
5,
say
sorry.
on. Yeah, I didn't have much else to say on that beyond the Steel Sky thing. I just found that interesting, and it's free. The original game is free on GOG. If anyone wants to go check it out, it's PC, Mac, and Linux compatible.
What's it called? Under the Steel Sky?
Beneath the Steel Sky
Beneath.
is the original one.
It's a point and click?
Yeah, kind of Blade Runner-esque.
Okay.
Seems like something Pam would be into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually pitched it as a club game before when we were talking about like something everyone can really get access to, like because like opposed to doing like something that's exclusive to a console or something. Because like you can play this on pretty much any computer, and it's really old, so you don't need super high spec on anything. It's free. I think there's a mobile version as well, but you just might as well play it on the computer at that point. But
I was gonna say, you know what's wild? That suggestion thread. I'm the only person who's posted on that thing in the last 6 months.
yeah, but
Just
No,
saying.
now that there's going to be a more PC-centric club-adjacent podcast, maybe that would be a time to play that. Or something along those lines.
Yes, I'm very eagerly awaiting the episode 0 of Quick Save Club.
No, it's Quick Slave Club for people who can't tear themselves away from chocolate milk mix.
Dude, you want to know what's scary?
Quick QUIK.
Oh, got it. Okay. I got you. Okay.
You're a slave to Quick.
I got it. That's funny.
I tried. I've been workshopping that one for like a week.
All right.
Evidently, it was not great.
Well, I'm just not the.
I'll help your joke look better by saying that they avoided copyright narrowly by not calling it Dollar Save Club.
Which thread is the suggestions? Is it under Cartridge Club Prime?
For ours, it's the one up at the top. There's the upcoming.
It's under upcoming. Okay,
I think
that's where you make suggestions.
It's under Prime, and then it's the top one. There's the top thread there.
Okay, but it's the upcoming one where you can make suggestions.
I'm trying to remember.
Does that question make sense? Okay.
It does.
I will look. There's 30 pages to this thing. Let's see if you're the last one to post. You are.
upcoming Cartridge Club games.
That wasn't 6 months ago. That was like 3 weeks ago.
I'm saying I'm the last one to post in the last 6 months.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, I can see it's just you. Yeah, okay.
Me. Marsha.
Musty. All right, gotcha.
You
I'm
say
still
that, but
playing.
Eric's the one with the Brady stairs behind him.
Yeah, you like those? I should get all the kids to line up on them. I don't have enough kids, though. Yeah, but hopefully by next week, this won't be in this room anymore. I'll be back in my messy den. I'm waiting for this new PC has a air intake on the bottom, and since I set it on the floor under the desk, I didn't want it sucking straight up out of the carpet, so I bought a little stand to put it on. It doesn't arrive until a couple days from now. So that's more than you wanted to know.
That's a good move.
Yeah. It'll be back there soon.
All right, I'll just leave this here because my battery on this laptop's getting low in case it has a history of just killing itself once it hits below 20%.
Oh, yeah.
It stings from 2011, so, crap battery. Anyways, if I do just disappear, a good night, all that kind of stuff, I will be live streaming from the Barry Game Exchange 2 Sundays from now, providing
awesome.
I have good enough cell service.
Nice.
So, provided the cell service is there, I'll put out a tweet ahead of time saying when I'm going to go live, and then, you guys can say hi to Bill and Joe and all that kind of stuff when I walk around. I'll make sure that I make it public and ahead of time beforehand. Like I said, providing that the arena has the capabilities of letting me do so.
Sure. Yeah, I'd like to say hi to Joe. That was supposed to be a
more
joke.
appropriate to say yo.
I thought it was hey. Hey, Joe. Right? So
I was
everybody
making
says.
a joke more of the GI variety, but
Yeah.
whichever way you want to go with it.
I'm going the Hendrix version.
All right, I'm going to call it a night. I got some Catherine to play. I thought I was at the end of the game. I thought I was at the end of the game yesterday, man. I was annoyed. It was almost 1 o'clock, and I'm like, this game is seriously going to make me do more? No.
Yes.
I gotta
go. It is.
Yeah, it's. I am very curious to hear this podcast. All right. Anyway, good night, all. Good to see you guys, especially some of you guys who don't join each week. James, Oaz, it's good to see you guys.
Good night, Eric.
We'll talk to you another time. Good night, guys.
I will see you.
So how's everyone else doing? Do we have anything else to talk about? It's a bit of a late start on this one, so don't know how much longer.
Did you see about the Switch?
The rumored other models of it?
Yeah, 2 other models.
That'll be interesting if anything comes from it.
I think it makes sense. But
as long as they get rid of that stupid flap on the cartridge slot, I'll be happy.
I don't know what else there is to do though, because you gotta protect that thing unless you make the cartridges flush with the outside of the system.
Yeah, I don't want them to get rid of like a protective cover at all. I just want them to, something that's not that stupid thing. It's really short, and you have to pull it out of the way every time.
Better kickstand also.
Yeah, or a second one.
Or at least put it in the middle, for frig's sakes. Putting it on the inside is dumb.
I think a better kickstand would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, they could do one where it's like the...
it's like a U-shaped one?
Where it comes out at the bottom and has kind of like the full length stand.
Yeah.
It's a minor gripe, but it's definitely a gripe.
These are just quality of life.
You bump it at all, or if you jostle the table, then all of a sudden your Switch is, wham!
Yeah.
Down on the table. And
nothing comes off really easily, if I remember right.
Yeah, if you tried to dock it when it's out, then, I don't know who does that, but...
Yeah. Ryan says the 3DS doesn't have a cover for cartridges, and that's true for all Nintendo handhelds. But for the most part, I think that yeah, I get why it's there. I just wish there was a different kind of cover on it. Like if it was a hard plastic piece that just folded back without like forcing itself back forward and over it, that would be better.
The 2DS XL had something like that.
Yeah, like a little more of a door.
It was bigger. It was bigger.
Yeah.
You weren't like, if you didn't have a fingernail to get in there, you weren't like out of luck.
Yeah. It's not even that. It's just the little plastic nubs that come out of it. It pulls the cover back over it, so you have to hold it out of the way every time, and those things are tiny. So, and it's really, like, it's snug to put the carts in. So it's like, it's not one of those things that doesn't make it impossible by any means, but it's not the most convenient thing in the world. Or maybe that's just me being pedantic. Is that the right word? Whatever. It works.
Roger Pedactor.
If you're looking for topics, did you guys already cover before I joined? What is it? The Castlevania and Contra collections that are coming?
Yeah, we talked about that a few weeks ago. But
we touched on it briefly last week, but
yeah,
that's super exciting.
Yeah, it's cool.
I was stoked when I saw that. Both of them, personally.
Yeah. Have there been any updates on like what other games are on the Castlevania one, or
not to my knowledge? No. Yeah, no, I can make it on these a lot more often now because I'm working mornings some weeks and evenings other weeks, so I swap. So obviously next week you won't see me, but the week after. So I can make it to these things a bit more often now because my schedule permits me to do so.
Nice.
We appreciate you being here.
I'm done waking up at 6 a.m. every friggin' day now, so it gives me a little bit more freedom to do these kind of things.
Nice. Minor aside to the collections. Konami is also on the list of partnered developers for that Apple Arcade thing. It's like, you're not doing anything. What are you going to do on this?
Pachinko.
Pachinko.
Yeah, it's like, yeah,
exactly what it is.
Pachinko on your iPhone.
Pachinko and slot machines. That's what they're going to do on it.
There'll be the new Zen pinball, right? There'll be the Zen pinball for this.
Yeah. Castlevania Zuma Unleashed.
Zuma Unleashed.
I don't even know where I was going with that, but whatever, it works. It's like curious to see them on there partnered on that. It's like, what's the plan there?
Back catalog, maybe. That's the only thing that comes to mind right now.
That'd be cool. I'm surprised they're the only ones that took advantage of using the arcade moniker on these new services. I know Xbox burned that bridge with Xbox Live Arcade, but in terms of using it again. But yeah, that's just interesting. Sounds like a really easy go-to naming scheme. But I lost the word I was going to use. I can't find a way to make the sentence work without it. Never mind. It works as alliteration for Apple. That's what I was going to say. It's late. Ish.
All right, heroes, I'm out of here. Sorry for getting everybody fired up about the Polymega.
All right, man.
Never again. It's fine.
The only one that gets fired up is you, Cody. It's all right.
I'm a believer. All right, we'll talk to you guys later.
All right,
have a good one.
Yep.
I hope I wasn't being too harsh.
On the Polymega thing, or?
Sure, yeah.
I have a mod chip for the Saturn, so it doesn't bother me regardless.
Yeah, I think of all the systems that I want to play it that have discs, I have a means to do it. Like, so. Anyways, we're getting too close. the whirlpool of the Polymegas pulling us in.
Yeah.
Save yourselves.
It'll be cool to see what comes of that. Just from like the E3.
No, it won't. No, never.
All I'm saying is that's a thing, and it's not going to happen for a while. So there's not much to talk about now.
What are you talking about? E3 is going to be here like. E3 is like what, 60 days away?
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wrap your head around that. So I think it's 60. It's either 60 or it's 90. I don't know. Anyways.
Yeah, I thought it was closer to July. Wasn't it?
No, it's like second week. Second week of June.
Oh, all right.
And then C3 is like a week and a half after that.
Don't worry, Ryan. The poly pool is not pulling us back in. We poly killed it.
Discourse.
They need a different discourse right now.
Try this. Legendary mission. See what that's like. But yeah. What else?
It's like we don't really have that much.
We've got some other people here to ask about Stadia. I think only a few of us talked about it last week.
Yeah. So what do you guys think about
it seems like no one's interested in talking about it anymore.
I don't think my internet will handle it, so until I get fiber or something, I just don't see it happening.
I think you only need like 25 down for the 1080p 60.
Yeah, but then it's you got to have that be steady, right?
Yeah.
If that's not steady, then you're in trouble.
Yeah, you basically need over that in order to have it be steady. In order for it to be steadier.
Steady. That's good. That's very good.
So bad it was good.
Yeah, it's usually what I am for. Usually hit the so bad, frequently miss the good.
So good it was bad, or so bad it was good?
Anyway.
Pretty much. What else is going on in the world of games?
I feel like we're kind of running out of steam a bit.
Zelda 2 starts next week for Game of the Month.
I'll go back to my save copy that's like 25 years old and finish it, maybe.
Do it.
Probably closer to 30, but
do it. If you stream it. If you tweet it. If you
I gotta get some people in the stream who know what they're doing, because I played it blind back in the day and I have no idea where I was and where I left off and what I've got to do. And like, I've got a dude and he's got skills and weapons and items and stuff. What have I missed? Where I got to go?
I've never played Zelda 2, so
yeah, it's on my backlog.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to be playing it.
Yeah, now's a good time to move it to your front log.
Yep, legit cartridge. That's the way I'm going to play her.
Same. Yeah, I'm excited, and we're gonna have a pretty exciting guest. I won't announce him yet, but we have 2 exciting guests, I should say. Let me make that clear. But
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, one that is of some prominence, I believe.
I'm actually holding this one as nearly as high as doing the original Shantae that I did on the Game Boy. It's been a long time coming that I wanted to do it. And
yeah.
So I'm glad that it's sort of being pushed and forced on me now.
Well, I mean, we kept hearing this, that like there's so many people who are just like, oh, I want to get into Zelda, but I don't want to skip one, right? So I need to play this one. I need to, and so it's like, well, you know what? We could have either gone the safe route and played, played Ocarina or something like that, right? One that like is like universally, acclaimed, or we go the other route and we play something that maybe not everybody has played, or maybe not everybody is a fan of, and so
I'm kind of glad you went with the not so safe choice. Gives a little bit more opinion in terms of the overall. I mean, you do like Link to the Past. Virtually everybody's played it, as far as I'm concerned. That's where I started off personally. I've done majority of the console releases, but Zelda 2 I've never bothered for whatever reason. Just never. I wouldn't even say there was never an appeal. I just never had a chance to really bother to get into it. So now I actually have a reason to.
Never got around to it like most people, but with the Switch Online for
and the easy mode that's built into there too. So like if you just want to get through it, I don't care. I don't care. I am no judgment on how you go about doing the game. If you want to play it with save states, whatever, right? Like, but
just experience it.
Yeah, as long as it's
exactly.
Enjoy it how you want to.
Yeah, I'm no purist. I'm not going to pretend to be one either. So, however you want to go doing it, I will support you every step along the way.
I care and judge.
Yeah, right. And then Curtis is playing Thor.
Oh yeah,
which has come up a few times on this Hangout in the past. But
I think I'm the one that suggested that a while ago. So
there you go. You got your wish.
Yeah, we'll see if that was a good idea or not.
Well, I mean,
hopefully it goes better than my recommendation of Escape Plan to Rambucks.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Looks like James's laptop cut out.
Yep.
And then there were 3. I'm thinking of maybe calling it. There's not a lot to talk about anymore, and getting a bit tired.
That's all right.
Yeah. Not a long hangout today, but a good one. Just ended up starting a little bit late.
Action-packed.
Yeah, there were 9 people watching at one point. That's new.
Hey, maybe the short, compact, where we have, more to talk about. I mean that
it depends on.
There's no perfect science to this either.
Yeah,
it's just people are around, and
it more depends on who's around, what time it starts. But like when it starts early on, it usually goes max 3 hours.
Ryan has a suggestion.
Yeah, I'm sure that would go great. I really want to leave.
Cut it.
Yeah.
That's some funny stuff.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Wow. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably good.
Yeah. It's getting late.
Before we get to circle back around to the Polymega.
Yeah. If we say it 2 more times, we'll have to.
Hold on. As you stream with regularity, right?
Yeah.
what do you like? What do you do for like alerts uh, and how did you get to that like decision to use those? Because I'm trying to hammer that stuff out right now.
Mine is, I guess, technically old school. I put it in a tweet it out, and then paste it on into a few different Discord channels.
Okay. what I mean is though, like follow alerts and stuff like that.
Oh, follow alerts. I've got, I think it's a boot up sound for the Japanese Master System, which is like a high quality FM version of the Space Harrier theme.
Okay. Do you do like text or do you?
Oh no, wait. Follow. Yeah. That's right. Follow is that. Sub is Snail Maze from the Master System, and it pops up with a picture, and then it has so and so has followed or so and so has subbed, and this similar things for the host and the raids.
If you can change them like per stream, I know that's not practical for most of the time, but if you're streaming Zelda, you could always do like Zelda themed.
You can, and you can have your main, and you can have alternates. And
yeah, I mean you can set up as many as you need, and then
yeah.
I'm trying to think of something. Like I have an idea, but I can't find like the right, like there's not the right like GIF for it, you know, or that kind of thing. And it's like do I try and like shoehorn something together so that it serves the purpose, or do I just do something tame to start and then
get something, I guess,
and then expand on it, you know, down the road. That's what I'm trying to think.
Like one of mine, what I wanted to do was have the Dreamcast logo come in and pop in, and then the swirl get drawn as it's, you know, like the boot up sequence for the Dreamcast. Yeah. And I couldn't find a good GIF for that because I wanted it to change colors between blue, orange, and red for the different territories. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't find anything that worked right. When I tried to make it, I was like, I don't have a GIF maker. Started trying to look for stuff like that. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to stick with the logo, and hadn't gone back to it yet.
Yeah, the obvious thing, like for a Zelda stream that I was going for, was like the da-na-na-na.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's just that's sound. Something I'm just trying to,
yeah.
Because first impressions are everything, right? And like, I wanted
trouble then.
Well, I mean, like, how long have you been doing it?
Off and on, probably for like 3 or 4 years. But then the more solid, probably close to like 1.5 years.
Okay.
But basically, since I got my Sega Master System. I love me some Master System.
You don't say.
Who would have guessed? That's all Master System, in box and loose. But yeah, there's lots of options. I wanted trying to figure out a soundboard, and then try to pull. I don't know if I can use Audacity or something to pull sound clips from streams, and then use that as a not alert, but as things that people can type into chat. There's one thing I use called Stream Avatars.
Okay.
And so everyone has a little icon down on the bottom of the screen that walks back and forth. And they can duel each other, and you can attack each other. And when you're dueling, you can wager the in-game currency.
That's interesting. I saw some stuff about like you can create like a stream boss, and then like but like it's like follows and donations are like take away its health.
Yeah, and you can do it with bits, and when you get affiliate, you can do subscribers, and I've thought about it, but I'm like,
A lot of work.
Well, it seems
Yeah.
like it. Yeah, like so I was watching somebody's stream. I don't know if you know who Meg Turney is, but
I feel like I've heard the name, but
so she used to be on this. She was on Rooster Teeth for a while, or she was at
Hmm.
Rooster Teeth. She's dating Gavin from Rooster Teeth. If that, not to just say like this is how you should know her is because she's but she's a cosplayer, but also full-time streamer and stuff like that. She plays bingo during her streams, and basically like every 500 bits she gets is a bingo ball.
Mhm.
But she gave away 2 Switches on stream, like
Wow.
2 full bingo cards worth to do that. And she got quite a, like, I'm sure it ended up working out for her.
Yeah. Yeah, if you can come up with I don't know what word to use other than a gimmick or something to that identifies with you and your stream, that's awesome. I haven't, but I like the stream avatars. I went through and found sprite sheets and modified
So
them.
you can use whatever sprites you can find. Like if you can find like pixel art of something, you could just use those. Is that how that would work? Oh, interesting.
And so I've got the 4 main characters from Phantasy Star, and they'll walk around the bottom of the screen. And sometimes, like you can drop bombs and it'll make them go up in the air, or you can make them jump to get extra currency. There's a game where the star floats across the bottom of the screen. The characters can jump up and get it.
Okay. That's interesting because I was thinking something Lord of the Rings or Tolkien themed would make sense. And I looked and I found pixel art of them in like Mega Man style, like the Fellowship. So like there's a picture of Aragorn, and he's doing the jump with his like the one leg up kind of thing, but he's got the torch in the one hand and his sword in the other from Weathertop. It's like this would be perfect for something like that.
Yeah, because like I did one for Rastan.
Okay.
And so when he jumps, he's got the sword in his hand. He walks around holding it. Unfortunately, with the attack animation, it's just they wiggle back and forth, and so it's not like you can actually have them swing with it.
It probably require a lot more effort to do that, right?
Yeah,
and that's just not.
But with Batman, I've got it because there's Batman Returns on the Master System. He jumps up and his cape flares out. When he comes back down, it closes.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's some of them are kind of neat. You can also do color variations. It's like I've got the Ghostbuster from the Master System, and for whatever reason, you have 3 Ghostbusters in that, and they're all white. And so I made an alternate one so you could be Winston.
That's good.
I made color variations of the ghosts. So instead of just having green and yellow and blue, I added in red. And I took Arthur from Ghouls and Ghosts, and there's 4 different variations of him. So it's a fun little program. But yeah, it's just all pretty much Master System characters. Find a sprite sheet. You could probably find like a sprite sheet for Lord of the Rings from the Super Nintendo.
Yeah, that's like top down, isn't it? I was going to mention that.
Yeah,
like, that wouldn't really work so much. I don't know.
It's isometric. Like
yeah.
But at the same time, that game's not very good.
No.
You can use it for artistic reference.
That's true.
The game doesn't need to be good, just the sprites.
That's right. Oh, you can change the sprites around because, like, you have, I think it's 32 by 32 pixels, and so I've had to squish some of them down. I've had to remove bits and pieces, cut off a pixel or 2 of their feet so that you can get them all in. But it's like I've had fun making them and seeing them walk around the screen. The default character for mine is everyone comes in as a snail, because of Snail Maze for the Master System.
Oh, that's cool. Okay. I appreciate you giving me some insight there.
No problem. It'll cost you one of those Stream Decks if you come across it.
Hey, if I see another deal, I'll spread the word because now it's not competition. But
Well,
I didn't know what kind of availability they had, so I was kind of nervous about like how long I see those things, like how I don't know how long they're up. So just makes me like, I was like, just make sure it ships. Just make sure it ships.
Yeah,
like,
you want
once
to make sure you get yours.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. I might have to stop by one of the local GameStops around here. Although I don't think any of the ones around here actually carry anything like that. They're full of amiibos and Skylanders.
Yeah.
Mostly Skylanders. But
these legendary missions are no joke.
Yeah, they incentivized going in as a team in the patch notes.
Yeah. Yeah, there's already been like 3 Furies in this mission. One of them was a legendary Fury.
Yikes. That does not sound that easy.
Yeah.
Sounds like a pain in the arse.
We'll see what I get out of it, though.
Yeah.
I already have 2 Masterworks in my inventory, and I'm not done yet. But
speaking of getting out of it, I think I'm just gonna end it for the night.
Okay.
All right. You guys have a good night.
All right. We'll see you.
See you guys next week.